So they'll be calling you a radical. So back to the acute radical well starvation event, and I've learned something along the way that people could give a fuck about the truth. They ignored the reality of 9/11. They ignored the reality of 3/11. They ignored the reality that Bush stole the 2000 election. They ignore anything uncomfortable. I mean, science, it took them how many years to catch up with Semmelweis's fucking work? I've learned, I mean, it's so fucking unarguable now. We have 15 years of fucking data. Absolutely unarguable. So they're mystified, they're stumped, they're baffled, they're curious, they're alarmed. They've regurgitated that so many times. Stunned. Scientists are stunned. The Bay Area, they're making it to the San Francisco Bay, and we don't know why. Are you kidding me? Last year, how many they stopped there? They don't even make it back home to the Bering Sea. They're starving to death. So we have 15 years of data, and you can continue to ignore my work all the fuck you want. I mean, it's absolutely pitiful. This acute radical catastrophe started in 2011, 2012. It's unarguable, absolutely unarguable. Noah lied. No conversation. Noah kept telling me over and over, no, you're wrong. It's not happening. It's not happening. That's happening. Finally, in 2019, oh, wait a minute, yes, the acute unusual mortality event, they called it, started in 2015, but it's over by 20. They're full of shit. And it's been verified. All the biologists got together and said, yeah, Kevin Lynch was right. It started in 2011, 2012. So we've had all these years of data. All these years of data. And you don't want to hear it. You don't want the reality. You don't want the truth. You could care less about the truth. So, absolutely unarguable science. So it's happening again. What's going on? It never stopped. It started in 2012 and never stopped. Now, it's so important. The Pacific Ocean was incredibly healthy on March 10th, 2011. The Greys and Humpbacks were making epic, acute recoveries to the point they took the Humpbacks and the Greys off the endangered list. I mean, that's been going on for 20 years, just thriving. The Pacific Ocean was thriving. Tide pools were thriving. The common muirs were thriving. The whales were thriving. One of the healthiest the Pacific Ocean's ever been. March 10th, 2011. We know something happened. Something acute happened. What happened? Something acute happened. It's called an outlier in science. You don't have to believe a word I say as far as back then in the day, but we have all the evidence. We have 15 years of data. And you're going to continue. Mystified, stumped, alarmed, bewildered. How many? And just ignore my work. And I like how, well, he's not published in an academic journal. Are you kidding? I proved to you what academic journals are. It came right out and showed you. I mean, hello, you're not paying attention. I was the professor at the #1 school in the country. I went rogue. Because they captured the PhDs. Who captured? The Epstein cult. They're housed at MIT Media Lab. Oh, now it's come out in the Epstein list. The MIT Media Lab is funded by Jeffrey Epstein, the cult. It's unbelievable. It got captured in the 90s. I knew that. I was the guy at the #1 school in the country. The guy. Unarguable #1 school. Not some opinion via testing. I was the guy there. I was running the show. Of course I went rogue. I had to go rogue. And you're in denial. So the acute starvation event is going on for 15 years now. And it's happening again. Well, it never stopped. I mean, remember, they all set up and we can't believe we're stunned, we're mystified. Why they're staying in San Francisco Bay all year instead of making it back to the Bering. They're starving to death. Which I've been reporting. Well, the first hypothesized the knowledge. These are full-blown out meltdowns posted in the Pacific Ocean, first time in history. It's going to take out the plankton. You take out the plankton, you're taking out the state of hot water gate. It's going to fucking boil the Pacific Ocean, and you're going to see a starvation event. Greys and humpbacks are plankton feeders. They are plankton feeders. Hello. I mean, I predicted every single bit of this is acute, right? And you think what a quantum leap that was. Again, the humpbacks and the grays have just been recently taken off the injury list because their numbers were just thriving. So are the tide pools. Look at my tide pool work. Those upper California purple urchins, before and after pictures that were done in the summer of 2011. Oh boy. In the summer of 2011. Who do you think those are? It don't stop. So, sorry about that. I mean, you know how it is. You can't do a video on it. That's why I do them by the pond up there at Weaver Stage. The noise pollution in this place is so insane, it's unbelievable. Weed blowers, car alarms, you know, it's actually psychotic what we've turned into. Nobody knows how to do anything manually. You gotta have a motor on everything. It's pitiful, actually. So anyway, back to Mystified Stump. I mean, how are you taking this? And how are you not just jumping all over these so-called marine biologists? How are you just not all over those pieces of... I mean, look, it's like this. It's like criticizing Israel. You're always afraid to do it. What do you think academia is? Academia is afraid to criticize the nuclear. It's like a lot of different people are afraid to criticize Trump because he's so vicious and mean, sue, go after. Well, it's the same thing with the cult. They took over academia, and the nuclear energy cult is the Epstein cult. I mean, you're in denial about that. And so nobody's willing to take them on. They're crackpot science. Well, they're not scientists. I mean, these professors all over the country, EPA, no, I mean, think about your marine biologist professor at a major university, especially a coastal university. You're at San Diego State, you're at SDSU on La Jolla, you're at Scripps, you're at Oregon State, you're at Washington State, you're at Cal, you're at Stanford. I mean, how pitiful fucking are you? Really, how fucking pitiful are you? You're talking way past pitiful. Disgusting, criminal, cowards. Well, you brand yourself in fucking history. And how about fucking media? Oh my God, don't say the F word. Whatever you do. So, they're still trying, I mean, it's been going on since 2011, 2012. Absolutely unarguable. And it's an acute radical collapse. So in science, you know, how about the salmon? Same thing. You know, salmon numbers started to collapse. We count them all on every river. Steelhead started to collapse 20, because they go to sea 1 to 2 years. They started to collapse immediately, 2012. Kevin Blanch, the Chinook salmon will not collapse till 2016. And by the way, they were record numbers. Columbia 4.4 million with the tribal takeout in 2015. Everybody's laughing at me. I'm like, they go to sea for 5 years. Will you believe me when they're off a cliff in 2016? Oh yeah, but that ain't gonna happen. Oh, it happened in an acute. So we have all the common mirror data. I'm like, look, these suns are gonna boil the Pacific Ocean. They're gonna take out the plankton. What do you think's gonna happen when they take out the plankton? You're going to see a starvation event unforeseen in the history of mankind. I mean, a food chain radical collapse, and they're all in symphony. The salmon, Pacific salmon, the common mirrors, the tide pools. I love it how they're still saying the sea star collapse was wasting disease. Oh, okay. If it was wasting disease, then why did the California upper pulper urchins acutely collapse and the sea anemones at the exact same time? All of it did. It's all in symphony. I mean, it's so obvious, it's absolutely unbelievable. This is a great starvation event. It's starvation. It's starvation. Look, I says, it's going to break the chain, and you're going to, I'm the guy that named it the block before it happened. I'm the first guy that said you could physically see it. Listen, when they take out the staff of life, which is plankton, which is the fundamental foundation of all life, what's going to replace it? The lowest form. It's like these reports coming out at Chernobyl or Fukushima, black mold forming. Yeah, you got that right. Because what is the lowest form of life? When you take out everything else, black mold. I says it's going to cause an acidification of the fucking ocean. It's hot water gate. These radical suns that are so radical and hot that are burned in the Pacific Ocean are so incredible, psychotic hot. I mean, bringing solar powered Earth, well, there's 4 of them. It took me a year and a half to convince anybody it was even 1. I knew it was 4. They boiled the Pacific Ocean in acute fashion. That's unarguable. It's absolutely unarguable. You're not paying attention. And you're still mystified, stunned, baffled, bewildered. Fuck, are you kidding? Kevin Blanch. It's going to cause a heat source so radical that it's going to cause the Great Salt Lake to go dry. I named it the Great Western North America Heat Dome. 2011, before it happened. And so I remember how I was in the bone marrow transplant. It's going to give you cancer. I got cancer in 2011. The fact that I go into the bone marrow transplant, sound 11, 11, 11, is insane. What a story. Yeah, but don't touch the truth. I mean, I consider myself the new Semmelweis. You know, remember when he proved germ theory? All those years, made doctors watch that? Fuck. He proved it with doctors. They still wouldn't believe him. To the point that they beat him up and threw him in a rubber room and killed him in Vienna. He was the greatest scientist in human history, Semmelweis, until Kevin Blanch came along. You can ignore this all you want. Oh, here we are. They're dying in San Francisco Bay again, in Oregon. And the sheep, fuck, they got memories as long as they're fuck. Do you have erectile dysfunction? Oh, fuck, do they? I mean, I get into that whole scene too. Why? I mean, it's pitiful. I mean, really pitiful. They've covered it up. Well, that's absolutely unarguable. The Army Corps Engineers sent me data showing how they had classified me because I had it right. It's starvation. It's absolutely unarguable now. The Great Pacific Genocide. And they're still going, I mean, it's unbelievable. Well, it just shows you what a fraud academia has turned out to be in this country. I mean, an absolute incredible, disgusting fraud. Really a fraud. And people tell me the Great Salt Lake been going dry for a fucking decade. It's a lie. Great Salt Lake lives and breathes radically. It was at perfect levels. It's what my spiral jetty video talk about, epic, at perfect level. That's in October 2011. It's hitting record lows now, just like I predicted. Let's see, the heat source comes into the Pacific Ocean, boils the Pacific Ocean in acute fashion, hot water, wipes out the plankton, and then you see a chain reaction. Storms rise up off the Pacific Ocean, and the water becomes, it's been widely reported now that we know there was acute radical heating of the ocean in that era. By multiple Fahrenheit, never seen nothing like it. Hello, something did it. Now you can't argue with them anymore. This is the greatest science in human history. First you hypothesize the knowledge. These are full-blown out meltdowns. It's going to boil the Pacific Genocide. I named it the Great Pacific Genocide. It's going to cause the greatest chain reaction, ecological catastrophe in human history. It's going to fucking crash the Pacific Ocean. It's going to get into North America. It's going to crash the birds. It's going to crash. How about the trees? I said it's going to get into the, listen, pine needles hold sun from the soil. That's how they say green. It's going to get into the trees. And you're going to see an acute fire. I predicted the Fukushima fires. We're talking the great acute fire situation that happened this area in all the trees. Trump, that guy is such a moron. You in California need to wake up and fall. That guy's a moron. You think he's ever been camping? Do you know more land burned right here in Idaho per capita than even California in this era? I mean, I remember talking to a fire ranger in NoCal. And he says at first when these all started happening, we thought there was arsonists working over many thousands of square mile area together. And I used to watch your videos, he told me, and he says, I thought you was crazy until I realized, no, he's right. The atmosphere all started to get ripe, catch fire, and these trees started to explode. Yeah, just like I said it would. They've got so much fucking radical foreign energy inside their needles. I mean, you're saying all this, well, coincidence don't get it in science. Even the demic. You know, we started reporting, me and my army, the bird flu long before it was ever named the bird flu. All this in acute fashion, so we know absolutely, unarguably, it's absolutely unarguable science. We know that the greatest outlier in science history, at least since Krakatoa in the 3rd or 4th century, I think it's bigger than that. We know acutely it happened in 2011. We know something radical happened in 2011 in the Pacific Ocean and moved over North America and moved globally. We know this factually. Now, climate change has been going like this, steady as she goes, since Rockefeller Oil took over the peninsula and tore out all the streetcars and turned us into a fucking car freak show America. We know that. And autos are fucking nasty, but we know when 2011 it went whoop, like that. Fucking something acutely accelerated it radically. And it was already bad. But this is, again, this is not opinion. It's not mystified, it's not baffled, it's not stumped, it's not curious, it's not alarmed. I've never been out of that. I hypothesized the knowledge, then I did the field work. Then you defend your work. I had to go transparent because they captured the PhDs, who the nuclear energy cult, which is the Epstein cult. It came out, it got leaked out in 2019. Kevin Lynch was right. Guess who's housing and funding the MIT Media Lab, where all your PhDs you by law have to fork over? Oh, Jeffrey Epstein. Look it up. I mean, I knew Chomsky was a fraud. You know what? You think it's a coincidence that Aaron Swartz downloaded that server at MIT? I mean, the cult got control. They got control of the science. And again, the bootlickers, they're afraid of them. They're scared to death of them because they're afraid they'll lose their job. You start talking about Fukushima and nuclear energy being the cause of the Pacific Ocean, they will fire you, as San Diego said. They will fire because these university professor copy-paste PhDs are card-carrying bootlickers. They're bootlickers. That got proved by Bob Crafted. Yeah, that Bob Kraft, who's, you know, look what he did to those students at Columbia. Look what she did. She got caught with her copy-paste PhD. Look at me. I shaved my head, put on some blue glasses. I'm an elitist. Her whole PhD fraud. Well, that's what it's all turned into, fraud. So, I mean, I went rogue, and I went transparent back when YouTube used to call themselves the Great Equalizer. Where the fuck am I supposed to go? And I did the work. And to think I did this in critical condition. I got AML leukemia in 2011. I had $1 million of Tesla and Apple stock in 2011. Play back the tape, Your Honor. Forked it over. You know what that'd be worth today? Impoverished me. I don't know how I didn't die in there, but I paid the price. You know, my $1 million got exhausted. They put me on Medicaid. Mike Lee kicks me on Medicaid to where they won't treat me. I had open heart. My heart failed. They wouldn't treat me. Emergency surgery. They fucked it all up. So the second time in 2023, I was talking to the doctor the other day. They couldn't get through. Almost bled to death. So they had to gut me up through my stomach like a salmon. So I'm split. They fucked me all up to get in there. To get a new valve in there and fucking reconstruct the whole top. I mean, to think I did all this work in critical condition, dying of AML leukemia, not to mention the failed fake aortic valve, all this. Wow, what a price to pay. Yet, fuck me. You can argue all the fuck you want, but there's no argument now. So, what happened in the Pacific Ocean in 2011? We know this whale starvation event started, which I named it the Great Whale Starvation Migration. Pacific. We know this is unarguable now. We know this. This great outlier started in the Pacific Ocean. I named it right when I named it the Great Pacific Genocide in those early days. We know this is the greatest radical collapse to an ecology in human history. No one's even close. What happened in 2011? Did a meteor strike the Earth? A giant one? That might do it. Did a giant meteor strike the Pacific Ocean? Some gigantic We know factually that it didn't happen. Did a volcano erupt the size of Krakatoa and coat black soot over the earth and block out the sun for a full decade? No, that didn't happen. Then what the fuck? Oh, did four suns burrow in? And they finally have verified, which I named Delma Argentina syndrome. I said right off the get, these cores are they'll melt through any containment. They melted through 2 feet containment vessels, and now they're admitting, yeah, there's a big gaping hole. Where do the fuck you think these cores are at? Where do you think they're at? And you're in denial about they never happened it never happened at Chernobyl. Chernobyl was a graphite reactor that blew up, 780,000 men entombed. What do you think they mined under it? Number one. Number two, they sent guys in to physically get pieces of. These cores they could never get near. They just let them go. They burrowed into the Pacific Ocean, not to mention the 880,000 tons of cement fuel pushed into the ocean for fucking 15 years. Hot water, it boiled the ocean immediately. It created a hole in the ozone up there. That's an arguable fact too, right above it. I mean, all the data's right there. You can't argue with it anymore. So this, oh, wells died, we're mystified, we're baffled, we're stumped, we're curious, oh my fucking God. How long are you gonna go with that lie? Well, look what they did to Semmelweis. I mean, fuck, they denied his work for fucking decades, many fucking decades. That's what it is. And I've learned along the way, the American sheep, they want no part of fucking reality and truth. They could give a fuck. They want no part of it. Look at 9/11. They ignored all that reality and truth. They didn't care. Bush sold the 2000. They didn't care. When Pat Tillman was murdered, they didn't give a fuck. They just, because they're so paralyzed by political dogma, and then the cult has power. The cult has control. I've said, why do you think I quit and went rogue at the university, which they supposed to pay for my insurance, Weber State, and they fucked me. You know, think about the wealth I would have, the money I'd have right now, economically. I mean, I had $1 million of Tesla, and right online, hey, by going all Apple and Tesla. Remember all that? Do the math what that'd be worth today. Well over 100 million. But we're not meant to be, I had to fork it over. I was uninsured. And it ended up being one ugly, hardcore fucking battle. But anyway, I've done it, and I put it transparent. There's 15,000 videos out there. Incredible deeds. First you hypothesize the knowledge, then you do the field. I went to California dying of cancer. How many times? And I fucking did that tide pool work is so epic. So fucking incredible. Worked up and down that coast for years and years at low tide, sleeping in a sleeping bag, no money. And thank you everybody who supported this historic work. And it's historic. It's really historic. So it never ended. The well starvation started in 2011. It's never stopped. And Noah lied. Oh, did they lie? I mean, it's disgusting. Unusual mortality event. Oh, did they fucking lie? So you keep going along with it, and I don't give a fuck if 10 people, at least it's out there. You deny the work, but we know factually this whole event, the salmon, the common mures, the wells, the Upper California purple urchins, the sea stars, the sea anemones, all of it, the Fukushima fires, the trees, the birds, all of it. We know this was an acute 2011, 2012. I mean, the 75 balls come out and says, yeah, Noah lied. We know this starvation event started 20. I talked to a kid from about a year ago from Alaska. I saw his plates, and he was at Weber. I said one day, well, yeah, he says, I was working on the Bering Sea. I did work with the wells. I moved here, and I says, well, you know the wells collapsed in 2012, 2013. Yeah, no doubt. He says, it's absolutely obvious. I worked on that fucking sanctuary for up there in the Bering Sea for fucking many years. And he says, there's absolutely no doubt something crazy happened in 2012. And I says, did you ever consider Fukushima? Yeah, but he says, yeah. He says, people don't want to hear it, but it's absolutely obvious something happened. I says, you think? I guarantee you what it is. And you don't argue with me, and no one will touch me. No one will touch me with a 10-foot pole because they hate the fucking truth and they're afraid of the cult. The cult has got fucking all of media. The cult has got all, ask fucking MIT Media Lab. The Epstein cult They're fucking scared of them. They're afraid. They're afraid to even mention the Fukushima word because the cult took over all academia, private, public, everything. They're afraid they'll fire them, and none of them got any fucking balls. They got no balls because they think money. No great scientist in the history of mankind was ever chasing money, ever. They're chasing the truth. Kevin Blanche. And listen, I don't sit behind a Skype camera. Some woman called me the other day, wanted me to do Skype and do a fucking... No, I'm not doing any fucking interviews on a Skype. I could give a fuck. You're just gonna fucking... I mean, how can you be in an environment sitting behind a desk behind... Environmentalists have to be in the environment, which I always am. You know, what a journey. So, important video, good video. Stay tuned.